Close your eyes for a moment and let yourself feel the weight of the moment you're living. Maybe you're facing pain that feels unbearable, a sense of emptiness or disconnection that just won't quit. It's natural, in these times, to wonder why this is happening or what the point of it all is. But what if, behind this pain, there's a quiet invitation to something bigger? What if what you're feeling now is the start of a deep awakening, an opportunity to turn suffering into wisdom and find the purpose you're searching for? Today, we're going to explore how spiritual maturity can be the path to that transformation. It's not about running from pain, but embracing it as an ally, a messenger that guides us toward a more fulfilling life, more aligned with who we truly are. Pain is often seen as something to be avoided at all costs. From an early age, we're conditioned to run from it, whether through distractions or outright denial. Society teaches us that feeling pain is a sign of weakness, and so we create a cycle of avoidance that disconnects us from ourselves. But what happens when we stop resisting and look at pain for what it really is? Neuroscience shows us that the limbic system, responsible for our emotions, reacts to suffering as if it's a threat, triggering defense mechanisms that pull us away from the present experience. However, when we learn to reprogram that response, we create an internal space where pain can be embraced and transformed. More than just a nuisance, pain is a language. It's the soul's way of getting our attention for something that needs healing. Think of pain as a seed. At first, it seems hard, rough, tough to deal with. But, when placed in the fertile soil of consciousness, it can sprout and bloom, revealing a wisdom that was once hidden. Pain invites us to look inward, to hear what our subconscious is trying to tell us. It's in this embrace that we start to realize suffering isn't an enemy, but a portal to transformation. Consciousness is the key to transforming pain into wisdom. But what does it mean to have a mature consciousness? Often, we're living on autopilot, reacting to situations based on ego and the beliefs we've picked up throughout life. This is reactive consciousness, which keeps us stuck in old patterns and prevents us from seeing beyond the immediate. Mature consciousness, on the other hand, comes from aligning with purpose. It's when we start observing our thoughts and emotions without fully identifying with them. Bruce Lipton, in his epigenetic studies, teaches us that our unconscious beliefs shape the reality we live. When we become aware of these beliefs and reprogram them, we create a new energetic field that transforms our life experience. However, we gotta be careful. In our hunt for answers, we can fall into the trap of false spirituality, which promises quick fixes to avoid pain. This hunt for instant solutions often disconnects us even more from ourselves. Authentic spirituality, on the other hand, invites us to accept pain as part of the self-discovery process. It's not about putting on a show or seeking external validation, but about diving deep into our own essence, with courage and honesty. Transforming pain into wisdom is a process that demands patience and intention. Neuroscience shows us that the brain can create new neural pathways when we reframe painful experiences. Every time we choose to look at pain with compassion, instead of resistance, we strengthen these new connections, building a foundation for emotional resilience. Bruce Lipton reminds us that our conscious choices have the power to alter genetic expression, showing that transformation is possible even at the deepest levels of our being. Big transformations often spring from moments of crisis. Think about a butterfly. Before it can fly, it has to face the confinement of the cocoon, a process that seems painful and limiting, but is essential for its metamorphosis. In the same way, our pains can be catalysts for purpose. It's in our most vulnerable moments that we find the strength to rebuild ourselves and discover who we truly are. These experiences teach us that pain isn't the end, but the beginning of something new. To turn pain into wisdom, we need practices that help us embrace what we're feeling and reconnect with our purpose. A simple, yet powerful practice, is the pain-embracing ritual. Set aside a few minutes each day to write about what you're feeling. Don't sweat the form or the right words. Just let your thoughts and emotions flow onto the page. This practice, besides being therapeutic, helps create coherence between the heart and the brain, as Greg Braden explains. When we make space for our emotions, we allow them to integrate and transform. Another essential practice is setting conscious intentions. Before you hit the hay, visualize the life you want to live. Imagine yourself aligned with your purpose, feeling the peace and fulfillment that brings. Neville Goddard teaches us that imagination is the most powerful tool we have to create our reality. When we align our intentions with our feelings, we raise our vibrational frequency and pave the way for a new reality to manifest. Accepting the present moment is one of the biggest challenges on the spiritual journey, but also one of the greatest sources of wisdom. When we resist what is, we create anxiety and disconnection. Resistance keeps us stuck in the past or worried about the future, preventing us from fully living in the now. The Bhagavad Gita teaches us about selfless action, which is acting without attachment to results, trusting the flow of life. This surrender to the present moment frees us from the weight of expectations and allows us to find peace even in the most challenging situations. Surrender isn't giving up, but an act of courage. It's learning to dance with life, even through the storms. When we accept what is, without judgment, we open up space for transformation. Think about water. It doesn't resist the rocks in its path, it flows around them, moving with ease. Likewise, when we surrender, we become like water, adaptable and resilient, finding strength and gentleness. The journey of spiritual maturity is an invitation to turn pain into wisdom and align our consciousness with purpose. Today, we explored how pain can be a portal to transformation, how mature consciousness guides us in this process, and how simple practices can help us embrace what we feel and reconnect with our essence. Now, I invite you to reflect on your own journey. What practice can you start today to transform your pain into wisdom? Remember that spiritual maturity isn't the end of pain, but the ability to use it as a compass to light the way. The awakening of consciousness is a continuous process, and every step you take is an act of courage and self-love. Like the content? Then hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share it with anyone you think needs to hear this today. And, of course, leave your feedback or suggestions in the comments so we can keep getting better together.